Good afternoon, y'all. I want to do a video on making a flint knife. So in this video, we're going to knap the blade from a piece of this Flint River chert. And then we're going to haft it in another video. So all I'm doing right now is getting rid of all my square edges, which is the first thing I recommend you do almost always. If you can, you want to get all that off to start with. So I want my blade to come out of this section. We'll probably lose this, but we won't get rid of it just yet. Those are just all my convexity is going to be in here. So I want to go ahead and start running some flakes into there. Those flakes right there were just to set up a couple good platforms. I've turned this edge down, so now I ought to be able to drive some really good flakes through there. That's going to be my next platform right there. It's going to have issues because of that step, but we should be able to run it through there. So we got most of that out. Now we can start taking some flakes off of this side, or some more flakes off of this side, I'm sorry. Again, I'm just gonna bring that edge up. Now I'm gonna switch over to a little freehand here. I prefer to nap freehand, but sometimes this bigger stuff, that's a little more difficult. Take some off of that. Try to get this crap taken off of there. I want to change that platform, bring it much closer to this face. It's a little high up. That got most of it. go ahead and do this one right here, since it's already kind of set up for it. And that'll let us get these two too. This has a hump in it that I'm going to have to get off, and the easiest way to do that is just set a platform up right there. I got a lot of it. I want to keep this side and get rid of this side. There's better stone on this side than there is on this side. So probably do some kind of tanged knife. I like as you learn more about this stuff and you practice hafting it and everything else, you kind of learn what you do and don't like about certain point styles. Anything with ears on it for hafting for a knife doesn't look right to me. Historically accurately, it's totally fine. I think they used knives with ears on them regularly. I just don't like the way it looks, so I try to make like stemmed or something like that. I guess stemmed would be the right word, but they're like a tanged point. Like, unfortunately, there's not a lot from the south that look like that. There's a lot of stuff from out west that had water in it. It's kind of cool. There's stuff from out west that looks like that. I think some of the agate basins and stuff like that look like that. Daltons work okay, as long as you make your, as long as you don't make your base like too wide. You don't want it to be wider than what you're hafting to. I haft a lot of stuff into bone because I like it. I don't think we have any, not in the south at least, good archaeological evidence about what they were hafting to. I imagine they were probably hafting to wood, not bone, honestly, because of the ease of it. It's a lot easier to haft to a piece of wood than it is to haft to a piece of bone. I have done some wood stuff. I got some really nice cedar handles I made for some, but I like the bone better. I don't know if we'll do wood or bone for this. I'm gonna do a second part where I haft this, and I'll go over how to do your sinew wrappings and your pine pitch and all that. Actually, I'll probably use rawhide. I like rawhide for my knives and sinew for my arrows. Personal preference. Knife, I'm thinking, is going to come out of here, but we don't want to lose this width. I mean, not yet. we'll take some of it off to set up some platforms and stuff. I got some, like I said, I want to remove this inferior stone. I don't really want to mess with the other side too much. It's pretty good stuff. So a lot of times there'll be better parts of a rock and worse parts of a rock. Of course, I'll have to take some flakes off the other side. I can't just take all my flakes from the same side. I'm going to switch over to indirect. We're at a pretty good spot here. Still some lumps and bumps I want to get off, but when you prep your preform correctly, it sure does make life a lot easier when you want to go running thinning flakes. Which, I mean, we ran some thinning flakes, but we haven't thinned like I want to thin yet. And we won't go crazy thin with this, just because of what it is. We won't go crazy thin with it. We'll go pretty thin though. If I try to go too thin, I'll lose a bunch of width. Sorry, whacked the camera there. Still getting used to that. I've had some technical difficulties learning to nap on camera. Everybody's been really supportive about it. Haven't had any nasty comments or anything, so I appreciate that, y'all. I'm going to take, if you can tell, this edge is low, so I'm going to take some in here, and then I'm going to take some off of here. It's going to have to take some off of that other side. That did not get abraded well or something. Seems like it flaked okay, it just didn't act like it. Flakes weren't staying together. I'm going to try to use this to get a bunch of that off. Does not want to flake right there. Interesting. Let's try that. That ought to be a good platform. Something's up with the edge right there. I can't seem to get it to flake. It'll, I can abrade it all I want to. It'll just run in and stop. And it's not running in and stopping like improper platform. It's running in and stopping like not great stone. Maybe some, that is so weird. There may be some concrete or something in the stone right there. I don't want to lose half the point to fix it, but I might have to. I'm not going to quit messing with it, I can tell you that much. I can't get it from the other side. There it goes. Had to get past that. Once I got past that spot, it was okay. Cost me a ton of width, didn't it? Well, you can't get upset about it. Just gotta do what the stone will let you do. It's gonna be more like a Flint Dagger than a knife. It's not really wide enough to be a knife, because with a flint knife you got to resharpen it a lot, and you're not going to get very many sharpenings out of this bad boy before it isn't very wide anymore. It's okay. It happens. I'm blaming whatever was going on up there on the rock. Y'all probably can't tell, but I was hitting the P out of it trying to get that to run a flake, and it would not run a flake. And I was doing my part. I was setting up my platforms and everything like I was supposed to. See, like that was real nasty, and it just went right across it. There was something up right there. I'm going to blame it on that at least. I'm just going to change the title of this video. Instead of making a flint knife, I'm just going to change it to a flint dagger. See, that's the best part about flint knapping, is you have all this creativity. You can change and do whatever you feel like you want to do. There's a little step fracture back here I'm trying to knock off of there. It can really stay, but it wouldn't hurt to have my base a little thicker or a little thinner anyway. I really shouldn't be doing this. Not with as long as this point is and as narrow as it is. Should not be doing that. I'm gonna try to pick that one off. And then I'll pressure flake. I mean, we're not bad. I'm gonna make a dagger. I'm gonna call it, I mean, it is what it is. Nice and long. It's got nice flaking on it, except for that crap. I think that was right where that stone, I was complaining about it. But it doesn't seem to want to cooperate right there. I don't know. I might try to, should I try it? I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to set that punch against it and try hitting it. Probably a terrible idea. Yeah, it's not going to work like that. Let's try it like this. There is ways to do this. I hope I'm try to keep it on camera as much as possible, but this is a hard technique. It just does not want to come off. I'll try it with pressure. Try it with pressure and see if I can take it off of there. As soon as I find what I did with my pressure flaker. I also have this brass, like, yeah, that thing. I'm going to try it with that. It's a little harder. If it had a flat end on it, this would be about perfect, but we'll try it. Not biting. Okay, where'd that punch go? I know it's probably counterproductive and I should just leave it, but I really want that spot off of there. There's a couple spots on there I'd like to pick off. So my punch fits nicely in this, I guess you can call it pressure flaker handle. It's like a borderline between a pressure flaker and an ishi stick. Just does not want to flake. Just does not want to flake. I guess that's just going to have to stay. A couple of these won't, though. That one didn't have to stay. See, that's what aggravates me sometimes, is I just don't know what to do about that. Leave it, I guess. If I don't leave it alone, I won't have nothing left here. I've already whittled it down trying to get that crap off of there. They can't all be perfect, man. If you flint knap, you'll figure that out. Sometimes it's not worth breaking it to try to get it off. I have to remind myself that. I could, but I might very well break it trying to get a little tiny step fracture off of it. I think that's why you see a lot of artifacts with step fractures on it. So people arguing on those. I'm on a couple like artifact forums or something like that, I guess you'd call it, like Reddit and a couple other things. And I don't post anything because I don't dig for artifacts or really even look for them. But I just like to see what other people find, really. I did go on a pay dig recently in Texas when I was out there. That was cool. But anyway, people are like, oh, that point has hinge fractures on it. That means it's modern. And I'm like, what? Where do you get that information from? That doesn't mean it's modern. I'd be more inclined to say that probably means the opposite. But they don't know what they're talking about half the time anyway. They're always like, oh, that's a modern point. Or that's so real, good job. And it is a modern point. They don't really know how to tell the difference, I don't think. A matter of fact, you'd be hard pressed to, between a good napper, especially a good napper who had looked at an awful lot of artifacts and was trying to fool you without an electron microscope and a U-square analysis, you'd be hard pressed to tell the difference. If they were trying to fool you. It sucks we lost a lot of width on this one, but at least we kept our length. We did good with our length, but just trying to thin it out, I couldn't stand it. I had to have it thinner. So, oh well. There's another piece right there that has a little bit of that, whatever was going on up there when I took half the width out to get rid of it, and still didn't get rid of that. It's a natural material, it happens. This is also isn't the, and this is nothing against the guy that sold it to me because he told me. This is raw Flint River, and this is what they call the swirl, which has these colors in it, but it's not the highest grade. The highest grade is that other stuff, and I've napped it a couple times on the channel. That butterscotch colored stuff, that's the high grade stuff. But it's a little less common, a little more dinero. I thought for sure that'd get that off of there. It should have. It should have. Just does not want to cooperate with me today. I'd like to get at least one of these off. I'm going to stop with the indirect. What am I doing? Bad idea. Bad idea. Way too thin and way too long to be doing indirect on it. I hope y'all stick around to the end of the video. I have a rock I'm going to ask y'all a question about on video, and maybe somebody can tell me what it is. I think I know what it is. I found it myself, and I think I know where it came from, but I'm not sure. Not my neck of the woods. But maybe somebody out there will know what it is. And what if I put it in now, and then I don't have to wait till the end of the video, and then y'all will just be unsuspectingly watching the video and then get asked said question. I think I'll put it in now. I tried to make a biface out of it earlier. I broke it, but it's still way big enough to, and I've got more of it. I'm going to heat treat it though. It had a, I'm blaming, another excuse I'm blaming on the rock. It had a weird inclusion in it. Dude, I break all kinds of stuff that's my fault. I'll tell you if it's my fault, I swear. Every good napper will definitely tell you that it's their fault when they break one, and it's never the rock's fault. It's always the rock's fault. So the goal with this video, I just wanted to make I said knife blade, but since we made a dagger blade, I'll say I just wanted to make a dagger blade and haft it on video. So I'll do a video hafting it, and y'all can tell me if y'all like that kind of content or not. I've got a bunch of similar ones I've made. I like to make them all. Every time I make one, it's different. I never make the same one twice, which I think is cooler than 15 generic ones. So that's not bad, symmetrical wise. I might have to get in here a little bit and thin this out, and then we're gonna have to get the mini pressure flaker out, the horseshoe nail flaker, which is technically a horseshoe nail notcher, but my points aren't thin enough for it to make a very good notcher. I need something stout. So we'll get the horseshoe nail flaker out and finish this up. It's overall, I mean, that's crappy. That's crappy. I'm blaming that on the rock, but that's a fine knife blade. Overall, looks about right. Make a heck of a Dalton out of that too. If I'd stop right now and do it, I ain't going to make a knife blade out of it. I don't feel like doing any notching this afternoon. And I know everybody's probably like tired of looking at brown chert. It probably seems like I nap a lot of this. Well, unfortunately for y'all, not for me, I have a bunch of it. So I'm gonna be napping a bunch of it. I just bought a bunch of it the other day, so I'm already dwindling though. I've used a ton. If you can't tell by my floor, I have used a ton of it already. But that's okay. I know where to get more of it at. Oh yeah, I was gonna ask y'all to tell me what kind of rock this was. Not at the end either. It was gonna be a surprise. You'll never know when it's coming. Just kidding. Unfortunately, I broke the biface I was making out of it, but I'll tell you where I think it came from. And it's got cracks through it. There's a crack right there, and it may be healed. It may not be healed. I thought this one was healed, but I was wrong. It's got a weird inclusion in there. I think this came from Las Vegas. No, there's another crack through it right there. I may never get anything out of this. It goes all the way through. Anyway, maybe somebody can tell me what it is. It was like in a tab, and I think, and see that purple color to it? This is raw. And it's got some seriously good looking like agate in it through here. I don't know what it is. It naps well. But it's got a bunch of incipient cracks and stuff. There's another one right there. I don't know if it got freeze cracked or what. It was surface fines. It came from, I think it came from Las Vegas. It came from out west somewhere. Somebody tell me what it is. All right, back to your regularly scheduled programming here. I'm gonna try to heat treat that and just see what it'll do. I have more of it, but it's all like that, all freeze cracked like that. It doesn't mean I won't get anything out of it. It just may be smaller stuff I get out of it. I really wanted to, what I was gonna do with that was nap it down to a reasonable size and then put it in the turkey roaster. That was a pretty large tab. I think that came from a mine. I think there's a mine outside of Las Vegas that belongs to like the Las Vegas Gem Society or something, and it's free to go out there and look around for stuff. I can't remember the name of the mine. Can't remember. I think they're supposed to be agates. I think that's an agate. But it looks to me like, I've never napped a piece of it, but I've seen pictures of it. It looks like a piece of chalcedony. Chalcedony? Chalcedony. Chalcedony, that's how you say that word. It's one of those words you read one way and say another. Chalcedony. But it looks like it's spelled it looks like it's spelled Chalcedony, but it's pronounced Chalcedony. I think. Unless I have that backward. No. Anyway, maybe that's what it is. Maybe somebody in the comments can tell me. Just for curiosity's sake. Since this is supposed to be a dagger or a knife blade or whatever you want to call it, I'm going to sharpen it up pretty good. They work a lot better when you get them sharp. Those micro flakes are where it's at. This one ain't bad. Certain stuff gets sharper than other stuff too. Definitely. But I also don't know how long y'all want to sit here. I'm probably almost an hour. 44 minutes. I was about to say, it's almost an hour long video already. I don't know how long y'all want to sit here and watch me pressure flake for. I think that's kind of boring. Definitely my least favorite part of the process. That's why those guys that are really good and have lots of rock and lots of time and lots of money just sit around and make bifaces all day long. There was a guy, I don't know if he's still alive. He used to be on Paleo Planet. Forget what his name was, but I want to say it was like Jim Wynn or something like that. He had an awesome YouTube channel. Paleo Man Jim, that was his YouTube channel. I don't know if that's still around. I don't think he naps anymore. Matter of fact, I know he doesn't nap anymore because that's relevant to the story. He, when he either, can't remember if he passed away or if he just stopped napping. But one way or the other, he didn't nap anymore. And they went to selling his stuff off, all his rock and everything. You know what? I think he just didn't nap anymore. I don't think he passed away. And he went to selling all his rock off. And when they went to his house, and he was like, come to my house, bring a milk crate. I will sell it to you all for like $1 a pound or something like that. Like $1 a biface, $1 a pound, you know. He didn't want the money. He just wanted to help other people who were flint nappers. And they called it the Jim Wynn Cache. He had like a 6-foot tall pile of, I remember them talking about it on Paleo Planet. He had like a 6-foot tall pile of obsidian bifaces in his yard. Like, not little bifaces like this, but like bifaces. Just thought that was funny. Alright, so we'll do another video probably this weekend. hafting this. Pick a couple more of those little fingernail flakes off, just to appease everybody. But I'll probably do a leg bone haft, deer leg bone, or I may do cedar. I don't know if we'll do it all with primitive tools or if we'll do a modern rendition. I mean, does anybody want to see me sit there and saw on it for an hour with a... I'll speed it up, obviously, but does anybody want to sit there and see me saw on it for an hour with another flint knife? If so, let me know. I'll do it. I don't care. But I don't know what's entertaining to y'all yet. Can't stop picking at it. Alright, cool. That's good enough. Couldn't get that off. Sorry. Don't know what to tell y'all. But overall, she turned out pretty good. She'll make a fine knife. She'll also make a great spear point if you just wanted to do that, but a little big. I can't leave it alone, y'all. Did y'all know I have ADHD? Have I said that on video yet? I think I got a touch of the tism, too. Been told that by a medical professional. I don't know if I trust them, though. Okay. Well, that didn't turn out bad. We lost some width, but we got her overall fairly thin. If I could get... There's something, maybe some concretiness going on right there, because that was right where I had that spot earlier. I might could come from this side, but if you can tell, this is like a lower grade rock in here. This section through here, this is more like that really high grade stuff. But I think we did great overall. So we'll haft this, and I'll do a video on how to make a knife out of it. Like I said, probably this weekend, maybe tomorrow. Thank y'all.